We start tonight at the state capitol, where lawmakers are pumping the brakes on a bill that could have lowered your license tab fees. If it passed, it would lower the tax rate and speed up depreciation on cars to try to counteract when fees were raised in 2023. Raya Katene takes a closer look.
For many Minnesotans, a trip to the DMV is costing more these days.
It is what it is.
And for some, just like their bills, frustrations are adding up.
I'm thinking it should be a lot less.
Some of these guys are paying $800, $1,200 in tab fees or whatever. It's not worth it.
That's why Taylor Ward from Maple Grove drives a
97 Lincoln Town car. Old grandpa car.
Because his car was made more than a decade ago, he pays about $60 a year in vehicle registration taxes or tab fees.
It ain't worth driving a new one these days. It's you paying too much just to drive it down the road.
In Minnesota, how much you pay for tabs depends on the age and value of your vehicle, with newer ones costing more, sometimes a lot more, to register. Under state law, a new vehicle loses 10% of its value in 3 years, but Kelley Blue Book estimates it's actually about 30%.
Individual people with their individual cars are getting priced out of the state.
Representative Patty Anderson sponsored a bill that would have lowered tab fees by lowering the tax rate from 1.5 to 1.2% and allowed cars to depreciate more quickly. She's a Republican who says Democrats previously passed laws that inflated the value of cars and made tab fees skyrocket.
It brings the depreciation schedule back to what it was, which is realistic, which is real.
But Democrats in the Transportation Committee voted against the bill, saying it would cost the state nearly $1 billion, with no realistic plan of how to get that money back for transportation needs like maintaining roads and bridges.
This is a really great headline bill that shows Republicans are going to be, whatever they are trying to sell this week. But the story behind it is that there's a $732 million budget hole you're creating with this bill.
How could this work in reality? You know this is wrong. You know that we can't do this.
The bill failed to make it out of committee this week, as Minnesotans are left to deal with bills of their own.
Hope for the best. That's the only thing that I can say.
Now, you might be wondering how Minnesota's tab fees compare to other states, and it can be a bit tricky to compare since each state does have its own way of calculating these fees, but some like Wisconsin and Illinois, for example, they have a flat rate ranging from $85 in Wisconsin to about $150 in Illinois. Lauren.
Okay, so Raya, this is officially dead, not going anywhere this session.
Yeah, like I said, it did fail in committee, and so it won't go anywhere from here.
All right, thank you.